All right, what's up, guys? New video. This one, I was not expecting to do. So a couple days ago, uh, with this whole virus thing, we're all at home hanging out, and we were riding bikes. Anyways, came across these crawfish at our soccer field. Anyways, we went over there having fun with the kids, caught a whole bunch of little baby crawfish, and some tadpoles, right? So I wasn't thinking much about it. Well, anyways, had a couple free days, so I went to the lake with a buddy of mine and my kids, and I was like, "Hey, man, it's gonna be a fun idea. I'm gonna take these crawfish and I'm gonna throw them on these beds with these fish, and I'm just like, they're gonna attack these crawfish like crazy. It's gonna be awesome, and I'm gonna video it underwater." That was my thought process. Well, we get out there, we're all excited, and we get everything set up, and I throw this crawfish in there, and at first we just threw a couple of them in there, and some of them like would scatter out, and some of them went down in the bed, and I was like, "Oh, okay, get ready," and nothing happened, and we're like, "Man, what is going on?" So, anyways, I tried this over and over again, and you'll see, like I even got some fishing line and tied it around one just to watch this go down, and I could not get a bass to react. So I was like, "Man, maybe this isn't the right one." So I picked up a rage bug, threw it out there. Fish goes down to it almost instantly. I mean, it's a total different response. So I was really just going, all right. So we kept on trying this on a couple fish, and every time, some of the bass even they wouldn't even acknowledge the crawfish. But you throw a rage bug down there, and I mean, they start looking at it, they start attacking it, and the other ones, the crawfish, they didn't. So that's what this video is about. I just wanted to show y'all what I saw. Like, is a crawfish, is a rage bug better than a crawfish on a bed? Man, the video doesn't lie. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I was not expecting this. I would have gone the other way on this one, but it's basically going to be all footage of it underwater, of a rage bug underwater, and how fish react to it. So stay tuned. I think you'll like this one, man. This is I'll talk over a lot of the part when the camera's underwater, and pick up things, man. Really pay attention, man. It's really neat to watch how these fish, I mean, it's down there close up with them. So hope y'all enjoy it. All right, there you go, guys. You can see the fish. Man, this is always crazy when I put that camera in there. This is usually what happens. Like, the fish comes up to it instantly and starts looking at the camera. It's always pretty funny to me. Like, they're very interested in it. It doesn't scare them too much. You can see, like, they'll come in there right away, but they're usually kind of curious as to what it is. Okay, so there's the first crawfish. I throw it down there, right? And sorry, guys, like, when you put that camera down there, it's always hard to tell exactly where the frame is, but the fish kind of leaves out of there for whatever reason, and the crawfish still pretty stays right there. And so what you'll see is, you'll see this fish come back into frame, okay? And when it does, now see, she's right over that crawfish, looking at the camera again, and it doesn't even look at it. I mean, it just kind of swims around. It's not a big deal. So we're kind of seeing this play out as well, right, from above the water. So we're like, okay, man, that one's great, So we're kind of watching and seeing what it's doing, because we're like, maybe it's not going to, maybe it's going to take a while. Maybe the crawfish is going to have to move around a little bit more. All these things. All right, so there's the second crawfish. We throw another one in there. Now it sees it, right? You can see it seeing it, but I honestly thought it was gonna like swim over there and attack it, like go crazy on it, right? It doesn't do any of that. So now we're like, okay, this is weird. So now we put in another. You can see it right in the frame. Now I've tied a line to it, okay, a fishing line to it, because I wanted to make sure it stayed on the bed. And here's the fish again. So now I'm able to like kind of move it around and watch. Like, it sees it, I'm just like, it doesn't even hardly react. And you'll understand when I'm talking about reacting. Now it'll kind of swim after it's out of the bed. Fish kind of do that. You can see I drop it back behind it, and it literally takes off. It kind of comes back, but look, it just kind of swims over there, and it really doesn't. It's almost like it's scared of it. And it's not that, these aren't those big red crawfish either. These aren't big ones. And I was going, okay, I didn't know what to think. Now remember, we had already thrown about 3 or 4 small ones in there, even smaller than this one, hoping that they would just, without fishing line on them, and some of them went down there and they were kind of hard to see and stuff, but they didn't really do anything. So like I said, I'm actually trying to land it on her or him. I'm trying to like get it really, really close, agitate it. You can see, look, it doesn't turn its head down there to bite it. It's just kind of getting out of its way. Like, look at that. It just gets out of its way. Now this is important, guys, because what I'm about to show you next is the crazy part. So like I said, you can see that dark spot in the middle. Some of you guys, that's its bed, right? The white part around it kind of highlights it, but that dark spot, you can see it's sitting right over the bed. Sometimes you hear like fish making bright spots, and they do. Some make dark spots. It just kind of depends on the bottom right there. So here, once again, I throw it down in there again. You can see, I swear to you, you can see its eyes, and it looks that way, but it makes no attempt at all whatsoever at this crawfish. This is, like I said, me and my buddy, my kids were there. We were all just like, we were so excited to watch this thing eat crawfish or do something, and we were highly disappointed. So eventually we kind of get tired of this, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe this isn't the best fish to like try this out on. Maybe it's not very once again, looking at the camera, this always cracks me up when they do this. I mean, they get right up next to it, they're checking it out. So it's not scared. So I was like, well, maybe this thing won't even hit a bait. Maybe it's not something that it's not one of those fish that's very aggressive. Even though it's staying by the bed, and it won't leave. And to be honest with you, we're so close, we're able to throw crawfish right on it. I mean, we're watching all this really, really close. So, like I said, we're just kind of waiting around. I'm trying to get set up to see. There's the rage bug. So I throw the rage bug in there. I don't even see the fish. The fish goes in there instantly to look at it. And that's what I wanted to show y'all guys, is the attention it shows the rage bug over the crawfish. I mean, literally instantly, it's not afraid of it. It goes after it. It bites it. And I was going, wait a minute. I just was not expecting any of this, guys. And so we can sit here and watch this over and over again. And all I did was, I wasn't really trying to catch the fish. I was just watching how it acted on video, right? I'm just getting in there, throwing it cast after cast after cast, watching her reaction. And not every time, but you notice the attention it gives it, that look or that quickness. See, even right there, even biting at it, it never did that once to a crawfish. So, like I said, we kind of do this a little bit more and more. And guys, this is kind of something really cool. I always like to, I could sit here and watch videos like this forever of fish under the water like this. I mean, this is in a lake, a public lake, and this is what we're doing. So you're getting to watch the rage bug, and I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really in there trying to hang it down there. I mean, you can see how fast they are. This is why people miss sight fish all the time. Because, I mean, it's almost impossible sometimes to set the hook as fast as they are. And if you're wondering why I'm not leaving it in there, like I said, I'm not really trying to catch it or do it around in there. I'm just kind of throwing at it, letting it move, letting it react. I really never know if my bait's on camera, so I wanted to make sure that you could see all this while I was doing this. Like I said, at times it looks like it's scared of it, but it always is interested in it. It always turns its head towards it. It always looks at it. It always notices it. These are all things that I wanted you guys to see. Like, man, I think a rage bug's better than a real crawfish on a bed. Even just swimming around there, not even on bed, she'll bite at it. I mean, look at that. Listen, guys, they are fast. They are fast when they want to bite something, and they are aggressive. And you can kind of see what I noticed from watching hours of them under the water is when they want to bite something, they will bite it. And it's really cool to see how fast they are and what triggers them to strike. Sometimes, like I said, you saw that one earlier where I went over its head and it did nothing. This is one that really doesn't really care if it's in its bed on the bottom. If you notice, this one has almost bit every single time hopping it. It'll look at it on the bottom, but it almost, if you notice, this one bites in the air almost every time. This is something I kind of just, as you fish for enough of these, you'll see them. Some of them only want to bite it on the bottom. Some of them want to bite it hopping. This is one of those that really that last time it bit, that was one I could have caught. I actually shook it off. So like I said, I'm really just kind of doing this for video's sake at this point in time. Like I said, I even learned little things from watching these fish. Even when I'm fishing for these, I always try to tell people to go really, really slow, maybe sometimes slower. At times, I fish this thing sometimes really fast on purpose. But man, it's amazing how fast it really looks. But the rage bug, what's cool about this rage bug, and you notice there, once again, she bit it in the air as it was falling, not on the ground. And now she's really pretty aggressive at this point. If you also notice, her colors get a little bit brighter. There's little things, if you watch enough video, you'll start watching, you'll see how shiny the weight is, right? I mean, you can actually see that hook in that rage bug. You can see the bobber stopper. You can see line in some of them. I mean, so if we can see that on camera, there's no telling what a bass sees. Now that one actually hit a little bit outside of its bed. But I just really wanted to show y'all how much more aggressive this fish was to a rage bug than a crawfish. And I'm not gonna lie, I just assumed it was just gonna crush that crawfish. All right, like I said, so that was pretty much it. I just wanted to show y'all a little bit more of just him biting it. I mean, he starts getting really aggressive, almost bites it every flip now. And I think we ended up catching it right after this. So after this, there it goes. So we caught it. You can kind of see me set the hook. So we go to another one, okay? And this is another bed we found. If you can kind of see, once again, kind of the stump in the middle, those little two stumps in the middle. Now you can see she's coming from the left-hand side. Man, it's pretty cool watching these fish, man. Like, we just put the camera in there, and once again, it kind of comes up, looks at it. If you notice, they almost always keep their face towards the camera. You'll never see them turn. Well, here goes the first crawfish, right down there in the middle of the bed. So it's hanging out now. You can see it coming in the background. And let me tell you something, guys. These guys know anything that's in their bed. So it sees it, and it made one little move at it, right? And then nothing. And it just sits there. It kind of a little bit goes towards it, but once again, you're gonna see, and then it kind of takes off like some of them do. You know, they all have their own little deal they do. Well, we're gonna try it again, one more time. So there goes the crawfish right next to that kind of little bitty stump thing it's on the right hand side if you saw it falling. Okay, here comes the fish once again from the left. Look in the left corner. You'll see it start to appear. Just kind of hanging out. This fish, for whatever reason, hung out a little bit more on the left-hand side of the bed. It actually, and I'll show you later on why that not necessarily is important, but they all have their little ritual, is what I call it. So I said, not afraid of the camera. I mean, that thing swam an inch or two from it. This one didn't hang around the bed on top as much. So now I'm like, okay, let's throw this rage bug in there. It had swam off, right? So I kind of throw my rage bug in there. I was like, well, you know, maybe this fish isn't very aggressive as well. Like I said, it kind of sucks that the camera's not exactly showing the fish all the time. I can't control that. So right now I just got it sitting there. I'm just kind of waiting. This fish took off a little bit, and now I'm just waiting for it to come back. Oh, and there it is. So I kind of see it at the same time. But once again, the fish kind of comes and looks at it. And now I'm going to start doing my thing where I start flipping it in there quite a bit. So if you notice, I'm always kind of flipping on one side of the bed and bringing it through. I can probably see the fish myself. The camera might not, but like I said, it will start showing it clear as day here in a second. Because what will happen is that fish will eventually start coming towards the bait. So you can see it right there. But once again, I mean, it's interested in it, right? And that crawfish we're talking inches from that same spot. And that fish never did that to it. It just looked at it. So it's becoming a little bit more and more aggressive. But it became aggressive with the rage bug, not the crawfish. So once again, you can see it. Like it's, and that's what I mean, guys. You can see how they react. That's how a bass should react to something that wants to go get an attack, not the way it did it at them crawfish, where it just kind of looks at it and doesn't even go to it. I just wanted a reaction, right? I just wanted a reaction from that fish to a crawfish of where maybe it didn't try to eat it, maybe it tried to attack it, maybe it tried to flare up on it, maybe it tried to scare it off there, but they just sat there and did nothing. So once again, I just kind of keep on throwing in there. Like I said, if you notice, the fish always is from the left-hand side. It doesn't, I'm starting to realize that it does not like this little, if you want to call it this little valley right there where it lands. It does not like that spot for whatever reason. And I'm starting to pick up on that more and more. So I'm literally trying to flip, and if you notice the same spot, I'll bring it into there, and it is not like it right there. I mean, you can tell that's where it gets its right there. It gets its most aggressive. It's coming out of that little valley. And guys, I can't tell that's a valley right there. Like, I have no idea. I just know that that's where she gets the most excited. So it's pretty cool when I come back to look at this video. I was going, little things, man. I had no idea, man. When you look down there at a bed, it looks pretty flat, right? And it looks pretty clean. But now you got all this stuff in there. Like, I didn't know that's probably a 1 or 2 inch little valley that runs through her bed. I mean, look how aggressive she was there. I mean, just came from out of the screen into it after it. So it's really cool to, it's really cool to watch. And if you notice how she bites as soon as it comes out of that little valley up on that edge almost every single time. See, watch. As soon as it goes there, instantly. See, even that blowing, I like it when they blow at them like that. When they open their mouths, all their instincts come alive. Once again, goes down and eats it right. I mean, it literally eats it within an inch or two of the exact same spot. So once again, I'm really not, I think I've shook it off a couple times, but I'm really just kind of, once again, throwing in there, kind of watching what it does, how it reacts, where it's eaten, trying to get it on film, because like I said, guys, I really don't know. So there's my daughter in there, and I'll let her catch it. She finally bites, and then...
Ooh, big one.
So this is the fish that we just watched the whole time.
Look at that one. Look at that hook.
Probably like a 4-pounder.
That's awesome. Hold it tight. It will never do it. All right, go show them the big one.
So
that's the one you were
even
just
though we
fishing
didn't get
for,
to see it
wasn't it? That was the one
eat a
that
crawfish. Might have been a little bit bigger than 4.
It didn't eat the crawfish, but
Still a good one though.
What did it eat? Ate that rage bug. All right. You want to go release her?
So we didn't get to see what we wanted to see, but she still got to go catch a pretty good little fish, and then we let it go, and we came back later, guys, and
what do you
that
think?
fish was right back on that
That's
bed.
pretty cool, huh?